Okay, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folaring. Well, our guest this morning is Mr. Okoro Chinedum Benedict. Mr. Benedict is a National Administrative Secretary at APGA, the All Progressive Grand Alliance. So a fine morning to you, first of all, Mr. Benedict.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for making the time for us. There are all sorts of issues that I thought that we'd seize the opportunity of your being our guest this morning to sort of look at. The first is that there seems to be a lot of talk as to the national leadership. What is the true national leadership of APGA? Of course, Mr. Njoku, he is the Supreme Court recognized, Edozie Njoku recognized chairman of INEC. But then there are also dissenting voices, should I say. Maybe we could start to understand the situation in APGA and this whole rumpus over the national chairman's job from you. What exactly is going on from within APGA itself?
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, viewers, and thank you, Nigerians. For these exactly about 7 weeks that INEC has recognized Chief Edozie Njoku as the national chairman of APGA. Edozie Njoku's recognition is built on a Supreme Court judgment which was given on October the 14th, 2021. And the judgment was further corrected on March 24th, 2023. In that correction, the Supreme Court was explicit, and they did say that Oye's name should be deleted. And the basis for the deletion, the Supreme Court said clearly that the matter has absolutely nothing to do with Chief Victor Oye. So, despite that judgment, the corrected judgment of the Supreme Court, because there were elections still coming up, and the executives who emerged from the Owerri Convention, led by Chief Edozie Njoku as the national chairman of APGA, they were like, who is going to do the nomination for candidates? And based on that, because INEC did not obey the Supreme Court judgment, and Chief Victor Oye did not as well obey the judgment. He kept on parading himself as the national chairman of APGA. Be that as it may, some members of the national executives now went to Buhari, FCT High Court Buhari, to simply ask, why should INEC not be recognizing us, who are the people that emerged, executives that emerged from a Owerri Convention? Why is Chief Victor Oye still parading himself as the national chairman of APGA? Now, because they decided to go by way of ex parte motion, the presiding judge says, no, there is nothing to hurry, because what is done in the court is always permanent. The reason for which court exists is to settle issues permanently. So, immediately they said, the court says, do not do anything. INEC, hold on, don't recognize anybody, don't recognize Njoku, don't recognize Oye. Oye, don't parade yourself. Njoku, don't parade yourself as APGA national chairman. And that was the agreement that day in court. And the court says, please, it is an order. They gave an order. Don't parade yourself. But as soon as we left the court, given the caliber of people that represent, Oye at the court, at the FCT High Court, we are the members of the executive under Chief Njoku, went for an enforcement of the Supreme Court judgment. Because in line with Section 287, subsection 1 of the Supreme Court, it is lower courts and court of records have the imprimatur to enforce Supreme Court judgment. The Supreme Court does not enforce its own judgment. So that was the basis for which those members of the executives went to Buhari FCT High Court. And the court says, don't do anything, and gave an order on May 10th. Lo and behold, Oye went with his group, and they were organizing congresses, they were organizing NEC meetings, they were organizing conventions. And eventually the convention held on the 31st of May, 2023. And Mr. Festus Okoye, who then was a national commissioner with INEC, was live and present in the convention. More like giving it look like that INEC attended or rather monitored the convention. And that convention was against all court order. That is the convention that produced Barrister Sylvester Ezeokenwa, who today is laying claims to the leadership of APGA. So, by law, Sylvester Ezeokenwa does not exist. He does not exist because his convention, the convention that produced him, was an illegal one that was done against a court order. And it didn't end there. The court went further to actually give a judgment that Chief Victor Oye and INEC were in contempt of court. There's a judgment to that effect. So immediately those judgments were given on June 6th and on November last, they rushed off again to appeal court to say, no, we are going to appeal. They are appealing it. They have appealed it in suit number 724 and 1169 at the appeal court. And on June this year, appeal court came out on those two judgments, to say, on those two suits, to say, no, what the Buhari High Court did, the FCT High Court Buhari did, was in order because Buhari High Court now made an enforcement order, a declaratory order, saying, yes, Chief Victor Oye was parading himself wrongly, and that he has no right to have done that. And they said that INEC, no recognizing Chief Njoko, was wrong. They made other declaratory order, and even went further to say that by Victor Oye, by virtue of occupying the APGA office at Katampe, was wrong. It is these orders of the court that they are still contending. They went to appeal court and as well lost. Today again, let me go further. Today again, the Court of Appeal is sitting. As I'm here now, as we are here, they are sitting. And that's why the national chairman is not here to speak with you live. The Court of Appeal is sitting. And what are they sitting? You can imagine a judgment that had been given by the appeal court, which has already been implemented. And the implementation is a recognition of Chief Edozie Njoku, which INEC did on July 9th. Today, they have gone back to court in appeal court, and they are saying they are asking for Sylvester Ezeokenwa to be joined in the suit. How can you join a suit that judgment has already been given? That's one. They are asking for leave of court to appeal at the Supreme Court. How can you be appealing at the appeal court to join at the Supreme Court when you have, after the judgment was given on June 8th, you've rushed off to Federal High Court again to begin to ask for another, to challenge the judgment of the appeal court? Who does that? And they're asking for another leave of court for them to now, stay the action of which the appeal court had already given judgment on. So, in simple terms, there is no dissension, there is no contention about the national leadership of APGA. The Supreme Court judgment wrote clearly that all the matter involving APGA leadership and its convention happened in Owerri. My dear brother, just ask anybody that comes here to talk to you on this matter to show you a place in the judgment of the Supreme Court where Oka Convention was mentioned. There is none. Okay. What is contained in the judgment of the Supreme Court is the Owerri Convention. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that sort of overview, as it were, legal, perhaps even political aspects of it as well. It does seem that there's so much going on within APGA, and no wonder that Chief Edozie Njoku, no wonder he's emphasizing that nobody is fighting with the governor, because I was going to ask you how this is affecting governance in Anambra State. But he has said that nobody is fighting him. In fact, he was saying that the governor need not be distracted. He's going on with his work. And so those kind of sentiments. So give me your assessment of the extent to which, if at all, this is affecting governance in Anambra State.
Okay, you know, the nature and the kind of leadership that Chief Njoko has been able to produce in APGA is to create a very clear-cut, what you call division of duties. And then that division of duty, Chief Njoko has maintained that, and which is equally the position of the party, is that Professor Charles Soludo should focus on governance. As it is today, we have issues of insecurity, we have issues of unemployment, we have issues of poor education or by way of seeking improvement in the educational sector. We have issues where other children in the whole world are being led by, are now going through very intensive training in IT, in robotics, in coding. We are saying that Professor Charles Soludo should focus on governance, and I think he is doing that for now, except that for last week or 2 weeks ago, he now had to go and get, because after the discussion which the national chairman has put forward before the media to say that he had a meeting for 3 hours with the governor. And in that 3 hours meeting, that Soludo spoke for 2 hours, 45 minutes. And he spoke for only 15 minutes. That he listened for 2 hours, 45 minutes. And only spoke for 15 minutes. That is very instructive. And at the end of the day, after that discussion, all Soludo could do was to go to the House of Assembly and begin to enact a law that will now say that the party should not field the candidates, but rather that the members of the National Assembly and the members of the State Assembly should be the one to endorse the form of the potential aspirants or the aspirant. But the question is, who issues form to aspirants? It is the party, not the governor, not the House members, not the elected the National Assembly members. And the reason why these things keep occurring is that we all forget how this thing called politics happen, how leadership and how leaders emerge. Somebody who is a governor today was an aspirant who walked up to a political party and says, I want to run for an election. And humbly, he goes to the secretariat of the party to get his form like every other person. And when he gets his form, he fills them, returns the expression of interest form, and he's given a nomination form, and he does all that, and he stands for election for the party. It now becomes funny how people who the party has provided structures for them to run an election, win, and they represent the manifesto of the party in governance, how they now begin to try to usurp the party. And Chief Njoko and the NWC of APGA are saying that that is not possible in APGA. It will not happen in APGA. It will never happen. It is not going to happen. There are clear-cut, parameters of duties. Duties are well defined. Governance is what the governors should face. Politics and leadership of the party belongs to the national chairman of the party and the national working committee. Thank you.
How soon do you see all of these disgruntlements going away, and what would it take of that which is being demanded for such a situation to come into being? Where can compromises be made, if at all, anywhere?
Oh, thank you so much. Let me borrow the words of Chief Edozie Njoku, the national chairman. The other day when he was at Channels, he said something. He said that perhaps the governor might have to bend a bit so that they can hear each other. The implication of that is that this whole thing is nothing, because even the candidates in the Edo election that is coming up, the candidates in the Edo, we are the candidates that were, screened and confirmed by the party under the leadership of, Oye. But Chief Njoko and his magnanimity and the NWC have said, it is okay, it is one party. Bro, come on board. And he has adopted them. Just like the way he is going about preaching reconciliation. As at today, the NWC under Chief Edozie Njoku, has visited 22 states. And all he has been preaching is, let there be peace. Be still, let there be peace. And all these things, blocking or locking up the APGA office in Anambra will not do anybody any good. There is no contention except that there is every need for Professor Charles Soludo to understand that what Ogbuefi Ezudu told Okonkwo in Things Fall Apart suffices in this instance. And what was that? Ogbuefi Ezudu told Okonkwo, that child calls you father. Do not bear a hand in his death. And when Okonkwo did not heed the advice of Ogbuefi Ezudu, Okonkwo followed his kinsmen in an attempt to sacrifice Ikemefuna. The aftermath of that action is the reason why Okonkwo was buried like a dog. Thank you, sir.
Chidi in Oka, good morning to you, sir. You want to join the conversation? Go ahead, Chidi in Oka. Oh, okay. I hear that, unfortunately, Chidi's call dropped. Maybe if Chidi is listening to this, he might, try to get back in again. Now, the Chief Edozie Njoku also announced that a decision had been taken to include the founder of the party, the original founder of the party, as a member of the Board of Trustees. How significant is that, and what is the import of that particular move?
It's already settled. The NWC has reached a decision on, and it's been done already. So, Chief Chekwas Okori.
It's been done already.
Josie Ndibo is the Chairman Board of Trustees of APGA. It's been done already. Thank you.
That's the Chairman Board of Trustees. That's the Chairman.
It is.
And that meets with everybody.
The Chairman of BOT Chairman.
Okay. That means, but how about I understand that the founder has been brought back as a member of the Board of Trustees. Am I getting that part of it right?
No. I said that already Chief Chekwas Okorie, Ojozi Ndibo, whenever you say that name, include Ojozi Ndibo, it's very imperative, is now the Board of Trustee Chairman of APGA. He's the BOT Chairman now.
Okay, not just a member. He's the Board of Trustees Chairman now. And, I've been hearing in the media Chief Edozie Njoku, he has been preaching the sermon of unity, let everybody wake up and come together for the advancement of APGA. In fact, he was even making a pitch that APGA has been sort of re-examined, and APGA is beyond being an Anambra affair now. APGA is a national affair, such that theoretically, perhaps, maybe even practically, anybody from anywhere in the country is welcome to join the party and vie for offices within the party. Now, that's the thrust of Chief Edozie Njoku. Is this like a sort of a rebirth for the party?
Yes, you captured it, handsomely. For example, the Alhaji Muyuddin Imam is the National Secretary of the party as of today. He's from Kwara State. Alhaji Ahmed Gimba is the National Organizing Secretary of the party. He's from Katsina. Alhaji Mustafa Rabiu is the National Welfare Officer of the party. He's from Jigawa. Now, when you look at all this, there is a gamut of intellectuals and people who we actually in other endeavors, but who Chief Edozie Njoku saw the need, that there is need to inject, intellectual property, to inject professionalism, to inject, technicalities and, people that have paid their dues in their private endeavors joining politics. And he brought them from all over Nigeria. There are many of them he has done. And that's the reason why it was easier for Chief Njoku. In less than 1 month of recognition, APGA has gone to, NWC has visited 22 states in less than 1 month. And before the end of the we'll be in Edo. Because of the government, we'll be in Edo. And we are moving around and preaching the same message of it. I've never seen a man who is as magnanimous and so peaceful like Chief Edozie Njoku. And when he comes, he tells you, let it be done this way. But we have a system that tend not to, that seem to have been designed not to favor people who preach peace. And that's why even after the victory, at the Supreme Court, at the recognition of INEC, Chief Edozie Njoku called the NWC member and said that nobody has won. I didn't win. You didn't win. It is APGA that won. What other message does anybody who loves being a party man, being a team player, what other message do you want to hear? That is the message we are sending. There is no war. There is nothing. Let everybody, all hands on deck. There is only one fold and there is only one shepherd. That's the message. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Sadebe in the UK, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Uncle Yoris.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Yes, I just want to comment on what you're discussing about. I don't seem to understand why in this country, in Nigeria, people do not understand the importance of party supremacy. A governor was elected under the banner of a party, so he followed all the rules before he became elected. Now, why would that governor want to take over the entire structure of a political party? This has become a very big problem in Nigeria, and that is the problem we have in our politics in Nigeria. Elected officials into the party affair, disorganize the party, and if they don't know what they're doing, they are entirely disorganizing not only just the state, but the whole country as a whole. This is what our politics has become, and it's very, very sad. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Sadebe. Did you want to comment on Mr. Sadebe's contribution?
Well, you see, those of us who were by divine providence happened to, have schooled abroad, when you see what goes on in that climate and how we, address issues, everybody here believes that a governor is infallible. A governor is not infallible. A governor is not infallible. Both the governor and the led are within the ambit of the law and must operate within the confines of the law. Once we allow people, whether they are holding office or not, to begin to roam larger than life, and they become so large that they become uncontainable, it becomes a problem. What the law does is to tempt people. Look at in the case of this our APGA, where a judgment has been given by the Supreme Court. People are still going to court, making sure they are relitigating what has already been settled by the Supreme Court, going here and there, opening up, because they want to make sure they drain the electoral resources we are using to make sure the right thing is done in the party. But unfortunately, are those people, the elected public office holders who are keeping us in court for 6 years now, are they doing it with their private money? The answer is no. Thank you.
All right then. Tell you what, Mr. Benedict,